What's up, guys? Kyle again with DTOM Knives and Gear, and we are going to be talking about a Kubey knife. This knife was actually sent to me by the Black Widow pass-around group started by The Knife Dude. If you are not familiar with The Knife Dude, you need to be. I will have his channel linked down below. He has started a pass-around group with quite a few different people, and I am lucky enough to be a part of that. And this one was sent directly by Kubey. So, very exciting. This is my first Kubey knife. I do have one other that is now on loan. And so, I'm kind of excited to check that out. You might notice, I finally got a Bearded Gear t-shirt. Shout out to my buddy, Bearded Gear. Me and Jake are really, really close. Me, Jake, and Kevin from Lefty EDC. So, yeah, I never bought one of his shirts because I'm a big guy. They only went up to 3XL. Kind of need a 4. Yeah. So, anyways, he actually, it's pretty funny, he actually created a store with, I guess, people that actually had up to 3XLs just for me to buy one. I need to lose some weight. Anyways, so I'm really stoked that I finally got this. It took forever to get here. She whizzed the post office. But anyways, yeah, before we get into the knife, just to let you know, again, this I do have channel stickers now. If you want any channel stickers, hit me up, and I will send you some. You know, they're basically just the Gaston flag and the American flag in the background with some knives and the DTOM Knives and Gear logo. So anyways, if you want some of those, hit me up. Great little truck stickers. All right. The Kubey Knives Wolverine. The model on this is the KU233. This is the B. The B, I think, is for blasted finish because of the blade. This one is blasted, and it has this really cool tan color. The black one that you can get is, of course, Black G10, and it has a stonewash finish. That one is a little bit more expensive. I think this is like $32, and the black one with the stonewash is like $38. So definitely one hell of a price for what you're getting. A knife under $40. I think that's a great. So when you're talking about knives under $40, you know, the real budget knives, I still got to have certain things, even with the budget knives. And I've got quite a few budget knives here. We'll compare sizes into. But this one really, really took me by surprise. It is a flipper, and it has a wonderful flipping action. It does not pass the Lefty EDC detent test because once you break it, it does only go that far. But this thing is running on ceramic bearings, and if you're giving it anything at all, it flies out of there. The one thing I do like about it is you can do the push button, which I actually prefer, and you can do the light switch. Comes out really nice, ceramic bearings, and so it just shakes shut. Hear the detent? If I can get it. A little click. I do like the sound of that. I like the sound of a detent that sucks the blade in. That really, really gets me going. It is a liner lock, and it is D2 steel. You know, budget knife. I know a lot of people are kind of getting tired of D2. I'm actually a fan of D2 on my budget steels. I really am. D2 is one of those steels that, you know, you need to take a little bit of care of. You know, just put just a little bit of oil, whatever kind of oil you have around the house after you use this thing, keep it clean, and it'll last you for a long, long time. Holds an edge really, really well, in my opinion. And so, yeah, I am a fan of D2. I also am a fan of the way the G10 is on this guy. So look at the milling and the texturing that's on it. Really, really nice. It provides enough grip, and this handle shape is neutral enough that I think it will be good for most hand sizes. It is good for mine. I've got bigger hands. In this knife, I can get a full 4-finger grip, and as you can see, just a little bit going down there. It does have jimping on the blade. However, whenever I hold this knife in the saber grip like I usually do, the jimping is way back here, and so it doesn't really do much for me. However, the jimping is not sharp and not really grippy at all. But you know, I don't put my thumb back here when I'm holding the knife. I put my thumb up here, so not a big deal. It does have a sharpening choil, which is nice. It's definitely not a finger choil. If you have really skinny fingers, you can probably choke up on this guy, but I don't have skinny fingers. Of course not. But yeah, I'm actually really, really impressed with this guy. This is I've been carrying this quite a bit since I got it because I didn't get it too long ago, but this is going to a bunch of other people for review. And so I had it in my pocket quite a bit, and that was twofold. One, because I wanted to get it done so I could get it out to the other reviewers, and two, because I really like this thing. Now, it's kind of blocky, okay? It's not contoured G10, you know, it is nice and rounded and whatnot, but it's a thick boy. We'll do some specs in a little bit, but it is quite thick. It's nearly 600 thousandths thick. So that's what I like about it, though, guys. If I'm a bigger guy, and so I like a knife to feel the hands, this one definitely feels my hand. I feel really, really good with this knife in the hand, and it cuts like a PM2. Like, I don't see any difference. I couldn't feel any difference between doing those tasks that I do, which is mainly, you know, cutting paper boxes and all that stuff, but cutting through cardboard with this thing was so satisfying. It has a high saber grind, so it's not a full flat grind, but, well, I guess you could call it a full flat grind because of the swedge that comes up there, so yeah. Drop point blade. The blasted finish I like. I think I'd like the black one better because it has the stonewash finish. And the reason it's a little bit more expensive is because the stonewash does take more time. It's another process that you have to do. Just like the blast, but the blast is, you know, there you go. Tumble takes a little bit of time. So I really dig that. Go and check out the Knives Fast channel. My buddy KC over there, he got the black one out of the group, and so definitely go check out his video. But yeah, man, I really was impressed with a knife for $40. Feel this sturdy. It is very, very sturdy. Now, that heft that you have in the hand also calculates to a little bit of weight, which we will go over in a little bit, but it has full steel liners, and it does have a steel backspacer. A geared backspacer that looks really cool. I do like that. Integrated lanyard hole. And it has a steel pocket clip. Now, the steel pocket clip, I really liked. This pocket clip worked awesomely going in and out of pocket. Now, you'll see it's not what you would call a deep carry. However, it sits, I think, where most people would be okay. Let me get this in here. So, as you can see there, that's all that you see sticking out of your pocket. Of course, you guys know me. I don't care about deep carry, but I think the guys who, you know, tend to lean towards that, this pocket clip I don't think is going to bother most of them. It works really well. It is steel, so it's got really good retention. It's got that little loop up right there to, you know, get your pants in and out. I've carried it in thinner pants and thicker pants, and it really does well. It has really good retention. The profile this way, you know, it's really nothing sticking out other than that that little bit of a flipper tab, which is not ridiculously sticking out. You know, it's got some jimping on it, which is kind of spaced further apart than I usually see jimping on the flipper tab, but it works really well. I haven't had an instance when my thumb, or my index finger slips off of it or anything. The ceramic bearings. I said whenever I first opened this knife in my unboxing that you can hear a little bit of, but as you can kind of tell there, like it's nearly gone. So if you go back, if you did watch that video, I think you could hear it on that video. But that little, you know, where the bearings are rubbing against the blade is nearly gone because I did not take this knife apart. All I did was flip it like this, you know, while I was carrying it. And then I put like a dab of KPL in there. And so this thing is super smooth. I mean, the centering on it is dead center. I mean, for a budget knife that you want to feel sturdy and work with, I really think this is good because it feels like a knife that will take a lot, but it's thin enough behind the edge with this grind, you know, 20 thousandths, about like a PM2, and that it cuts really well. So I think, you know, a work knife that can double as like your EDC regular task, go out in the yard and just beat on this thing, I think it is a winner. So let's go ahead, flip the camera around. We'll put it against some of my other favorite budget knives and let you see, we'll go over some specs about what I think fully of this. All right, so let's get a pretty good look at this guy. There is your Kubey logo, and I just really dig this blade shape. Your blasted finish, really, really nice. The only other thing on the other side is the D2. As you can see, some milling on that pivot. Kind of cool, you know, not to just have just a regular, solid pivot. They did a little milling work there. I'm okay with that. It doesn't blow me away, but I am definitely okay with it. The G10, I really do like a lot. It feels really nice and sturdy. Like I talked about the pocket clip. Another thing that I did not talk about is the access to this lock bar for the liner lock is amazing. It is no problems for me to get this thing in and out of the way, and I love that. Oh, golly, the action on this thing for the price you pay is stellar. But let's put it up against some other ones. How about that? First, let's do some specs. This is about an 8.2-inch long knife with a 3.5-inch cutting edge, 140 thousandths on the blade thickness with about 20 thousandths behind the edge. The blade width is about 1 inch 100 this way, so relatively thin. I know for some people it's going to look a little weird because the profile of the blade and the handle just looks a little bit bigger, and I get that. It is one of those things, but the thickness of this blade, if you're a bigger guy like me, I really think this is going to do you well because it feels the hand out so much and it does not cause any hot spots. It is a very, very ergonomic knife because of the neutralness of the handles. Now, as far as, like I said, the jimping here, you can see where my thumb rests, nowhere near the jimping, but that's okay. Let's put it up against some other of the budget brands that I have in this size category. Here it is against the CJRB Felspar. This is the full size. As you can see, just a little bit smaller than the Wolverine. This one is also G10. This one has some contouring on it and is a thumb stud knife. So this is one of my all-time favorite budget knives. But this one's running on bearings as well, and the action is good. But I do think, even though, because I've really had to work on this to get the action like this, and even when I've done that, I can still feel just a little bit of jumpiness in this blade. It does not, hurt the performance of this blade. I still love it, but the smoothness of the Kubey on the ceramic bearings is a lot better. I wouldn't say a ton better, but it is definitely a noticeable difference that the Kubey knife is smoother than the CJRB. Both G10, both D2 steel, and this one has nested liners as well as where's the other one? Nope, the other one doesn't have it either. So the nested liners are nice in the CJRB. These are full steel. They are not skeleton. Oh, yeah, they are. They're skeletonized just on the one side to reduce a little bit of the weight, but we'll compare the weight for the other two in a second. Here it is against the Ontario Rat number 1, the all-infamous Ontario Rat number 1, which is also a great budget option. As you can see, D2 still on this. The ergonomics for the Rat is just a little bit different, but they are very comfortable. As you can see where my thumb lands up here, it's kind of the same thing, but it is a little easier to move my finger back on this guy than on this particular design. But I will say the D2 blade on the Ontario Rat number 1 cuts well, but this is a much slicier blade on the Kubey. The other one that we will put up here is the Civivi Praxis. Definitely in the same size. The action on the Kubey, though, just really is a lot better than the Civivi. Now, I'm not saying the Civivi's bad as far as the action, being smooth here, but the detent, I shouldn't say action. The detent is a lot lazier on the Civivi, a lot softer, I guess. It still flicks out of there. Still one of my favorite knives as far as in the budget range, but the detent on the Kubey, it outperforms the flipper of the Civivi. And that's saying something, guys, because Civivi is very well known for their action and detents. So, like I said, I was really, really impressed. I'm looking forward to getting some more of their models in to be able to check out because I am a fan of Kubey knives right now. They do have more expensive options. This is part of the budget line. I have another one, like I said, that is in for review from Bad Monkey EDC 1. Shout out, brother. And we will be going over that. I've got so many knives, guys. I'm trying to get through. It's crazy. But anyways, guys, thanks for stopping by and checking this out. I do think I can recommend this knife 100% for the price and what you're getting for this knife, the sturdiness of it. I really, really think a lot of people getting it in hand will love this knife. I really do. Like I said, the black with the stone-washed blade, I think would be really up my alley. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for stopping by and checking it out with me. Definitely go check out the Knife Dude on YouTube. I will have him linked down in the prescription in the description. Stay safe in this crazy world that we are living in, and we will see you in the next one.